We're following a shocking development at Alabama. The leading scorer for the second-ranked Crimson Tide, Brandon Miller, a projected NBA lottery pick, allegedly provided the gun that was used in the January killing of a 23-year-old woman, according to law enforcement testimony today. Now, police say Miller was asked by then-teammate Darius Miles to bring a gun to where Miles and a third man were. That third man, Michael Davis, is accused of firing the gun at a vehicle, striking and killing Jamea Harris. Now, Davis and Miles, who is no longer on the Alabama team, have been charged with capital murder. Meanwhile, Miller, the star of the number 2 team in the country, has not been charged with a crime. Here's Alabama head coach Nate Oats earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, we've known the situation since we've been fully cooperating with law enforcement the entire time. I mean, the whole situation's sad. I mean, you just think of it, we team closed practice with a prayer for the situation today. Again, knowing that we had this trial today, I mean, you think of Jamea and her family and Kane, really think about her son Kane that was left behind. So it's sad. We knew about that. I mean, you can't control everything anybody does outside of practice. Nobody knew that was going to happen. College kids are out. Brandon hasn't been in any type of trouble, nor has he in any type of trouble in this case, like in the wrong spot at the wrong time. So we'll address it when I'm sure NBA scouts will ask, they do their homework. But yeah, I think the article that it came out in also stated Brandon's been interviewed. He's they're comfortable with everything that happened there.
Hey, I'm outside the club, bringing a gun at 2 a.m. There's something that kind of goes along there. However, the problem that they're going to have is you can't prove necessarily all the time. You can't prove intent. You can't prove what someone's motive was. You can't prove that they knew something. You can't climb inside their mind. It's going to come down to what kind of communication probably did Brandon Miller have with people directly before, during, or after this happened that could lead to him being charged, because there are charges out there depending on what else they find out, and the fact that they're slow-rolling this investigation is not necessarily a good thing for him. He could face conspiracy, accessory, or even possibly felony murder charges because, I don't know, in every state, but here in Oklahoma, if you commit a felony that causes the death of another, you can be charged with their murder under a felony murder statute. So I think that Brandon's not out of the woods yet, and I think that Nate Oats may have talked himself out of a job.
Well, what I don't understand is why Nate Oats today said, we've known about this, we've been fully cooperating with law enforcement. Like you have a choice whether to cooperate with a murder investigation that involves a player that you got rid of pretty quickly. Like the second Miles, they booked him, he was off the team. Like he doesn't exist, and then your star player is on the periphery of this, and you're trying to get extra credit for saying that you cooperated. Then he said the whole situation is sad, and then he said this. They asked him about the involvement of his player with the gun, and he said, we knew about this, can't control everything anybody does outside of practice. Nobody knew that was going to happen. College kids are out. Brandon hasn't been in any type of trouble, nor is he in any type of trouble in this case. Wrong spot at the wrong time. That's why this is a big deal today, not because of anything else. The fact that until today, we didn't know, we meaning the public, we didn't know that his star player and the best player that Alabama maybe has ever seen was involved in bringing the gun to the scene of the murder, and then he goes on to say, as if college kids do crazy things. I've been on a million campuses, as you have. This is not normal activity for college kids on a Sunday night.
No, it's really not. And the way that Nate spoke about it, it would have been better for him to take a quick moment, take a deep breath, and consult with a PR team, because the way he put it out there, it does not look good. It doesn't sound good. and the media have already latched on to the idea of, young single mother life taken. They're going to hammer home that point harder than probably I would. It's just, I think he's in a world of hurt from this point on. I don't think he did himself any favors, and I don't really know if there's anything he can do to bring himself back.
Well, and here's the thing, Dustin. What we're trying to do today, we're not trying to do anything other than represent the seriousness of this. I've seen countless opinions, and that's all they are. They're opinions, but they're from prominent people. I just saw another a Fox News analyst just tweeted out that Miller should never play another minute for Alabama, and Nate Oates' job should be in jeopardy for this cover-up. That's what Clay Travis said. We heard from Woken earlier. By the way, you don't have to like any of these commentators. You don't have to subscribe to them, but they have very large voices. And what I'm trying to say is their voices today are nothing compared to how they're going to disseminate this information tomorrow. This is a real story, and sadly, it's a real problem. In addition to everything else that has already happened here, and what we're talking about is the murder